getting around. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers. I am your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm Corwin Heller.
He said very despotically.
Yes, I don't know what that word means.
That's okay. I'm not convinced I said it right. So we're just going to let that shit sit there forever. It's the Monday episode. We have nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
we're just going to talk about whatever.
There's really only basketball and hockey going on right now of any important note, and those are two things we don't talk about a lot, so we're just going to talk about some random shit instead.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing going on. We could talk about the NHL playoffs to the extent which we could, but I feel like that should be
a ton of it.
I haven't either, and I feel so fucking bad.
I mean, the Pens got kicked
busy.
out, and I've had finals, and I've just really not had the motivation to watch it.
I've just been so obsessed with baseball. I've been telling myself I'm going to sit down and watch all the Stanley Cup final games. Like, I'm going to do that.
Exactly.
I will forego watching the Yankees, or at least just put the game on my phone or something to watch the finals. But I've just been like out or busy or like, what game should I watch? Like, oh, this Stars game doesn't start till 10 o'clock? Fuck that shit. So I've been kind of like that. I feel bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, the finals are coming up for the conference, and it's just like, oh boy, the Hurricanes and the Bruins. It's not really something.
I'm fucking excited about that shit. No,
I'm excited
I want
for
to see
the
the
Hurricanes.
Canes. Oh, go Canes, baby!
Go
Canes! I want it so bad.
Ugh. I'm sick of the texts I'm getting from my roommate who's up from the Boston area about
Dan?
Yeah, just about like the Bruins. Oh, they're making the comeback. Oh my god! I was like, you know what? I'm from Pittsburgh, and even I get sick of like the championship bullshit that Boston has.
And we've talked about how much I hate
Pittsburgh.
You did. I was going to.
I'm not from Pittsburgh, by the way.
You're not at all. I think everyone gets sick of the oh, we won a bunch. Like, I don't like it as a Yankees fan. I fucking hate listening to other Yankees fans talk about how much we've won. It's.
I hate listening to any Yankees fan, including you, talk about the Yankees.
No, we both know that's not true.
Yeah,
we both know that's a lie. Before we keep going, here is an ad from our friends over at Sports Trebuchet.
Do you like to talk about sports?
Do you like podcasts?
Do you like talking about professional wrestling?
Do you like medieval weaponry?
Then check us out at Sports Trebuchet on Twitter, or listen to us, Sports Trebuchet on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or anywhere you listen.
And we're back.
You pointed at me. I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I know. What do you want to start with?
Let's talk about the Florida kid first, just because I have that on my mind.
All right. You got those Florida children on deck. Tell me about them kids.
There's a 2019 five-star defensive back prospect who committed to Florida, enrolled at Florida, named Chris Steele, who has recently requested a transfer out of Florida due to Florida being unable to change his room assignment before the summer started. And this is only an issue because his roommate, who is quarterback Jalan Jalan, honestly don't care if I get this guy's name wrong, because he was accused by two female students of sexual assault in April, which is kind of a big deal. So Steele wanted to move out of the room just because he didn't want to be associated with this guy in any way, didn't want to get mixed up with this guy, just wanted to have nothing to do with him. And Florida said, hey, we can't do this until after the summer or late in the summer, whatever, it doesn't matter. And he was like, all right, if you're not going to make me move out of a room with a accused sexual assaulter, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to be at this school if this is the way you treat me. And I think this is just one of those things where a lot of times schools really favor high-starred, highly touted recruits, basically, paying for them to come to school, giving them a scholarship, buying them nice cars, giving them wads of cash. Allegedly, the ginger fucked an ostrich. Allegedly.
So, is Florida State like
University of Florida.
Oh, sorry. Well, fuck Florida State too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is University of Florida like looking into the sexual assaulter as like is that like an open case with them or like are they investigating that? Because you'd think my thing is like I've seen not like sexual assault stuff at my school, but I've seen people be accused of things by universities who are like told to go home until their like school investigation is complete. So I'm like kind of surprised this is an issue in this regard, and then I'll get to a second point later. But is he being investigated?
So Jones was accused. He has not been charged with the assault. There is an open investigation, not through the school, but through, I want to say it's Tallahassee, where Florida is.
Sure.
That might be Florida State. I don't know. I don't really care.
The Florida State Seminole Vesicles.
Yes, Florida State Seminole Vesicles. But he has left the school, Jones, who was accused. So it's really just come down to it's not something where it's he doesn't want to live with this kid over the summer. He doesn't want to, do all that specifically, but it's more of the way this went down, the fact that Florida was unable to give him the right to move out of a room with, an accused sexual assaulter.
And so that's the other thing is that I'm surprised it's an issue because changing your room in college shouldn't be that fucking much of an issue. Like
especially in the summer when really not many people are living
as an
there.
Athlete,
Exactly.
that they're spending money on you being there. Like of all the people that a university should want to keep happy, you would assume it's this guy.
Yeah, like a 5-star, the top recruit in their entire 2019 class, their marquee player.
Like this makes Florida University of Florida.
Yes.
Ah, damn. All right. This makes University of Florida look fucking bad because like they're not
Not
handling
great.
the sexual assault thing right. I guess maybe now they are if the dude got sent home, but they clearly fucked it up to the point where this kid had to intervene, and they probably only did it because make this shit got made public, and then they're fucking up with their recruits, with their talent. Like the thing is, if you're a high school recruit looking at which college to commit to, and this shit's on your mind, I'm willing to bet this shit might change some goddamn opinions.
And like it's not like this is just some random like even if this was some random guy is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
This
right.
would be a huge deal.
Of course.
This is the highest ranked recruit in Florida in the past 3 seasons. This is I know we shouldn't be playing favorites with players, but schools do it, coaches do it, teams do it.
Of course.
I just don't understand how and why Florida would be so unaccommodating.
Yeah, I have no answer for that. But, wow, is it fucking weird, to say the least.
Yep. I'm just glad it's not Penn State this time.
You know what? Fuck the whole state of Florida.
Yeah.
Fuck every square inch of that goddamn shithole.
Clearwater's nice. Disney's a good time. The rest can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Florida listeners. I'm waving goodbye to you.
As they ride off into the sunset on their dolphins with 8 balls of Coke.
Love it.
Yeah. We should just give Florida to Miami. Not to Miami. We should just give Florida to Cuba. I think they'd make better use of it. At least
give
then Florida
Texas
have
to
cool
Mexico.
cars.
Give Texas to Mexico. Give Florida to Cuba. Let the South go on their own
Give
way.
Louisiana to the ocean. Those goddamn crawdad speaking motherfuckers.
Fucking Christ. But just thinking about this is going to absolutely fuck their recruiting for the next couple of cycles.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because you got to think that as like a kid, especially going to a college where like, look, man, kid's going to want to party. Everyone's going to want to party. Especially if you're at a major university at a D1 school, you're going to want to go to a party.
in Florida.
Yeah, especially in Florida where it's like spring break destinations points.
Exactly.
But like if you're a kid, you'd probably also want to have like, if you're an athlete, probably want to have your school behind your back.
Right.
And willing to accommodate you. Especially when
You
you're
want to
trying
be a part of that
especially
family.
Especially when this kid's trying to do the right thing.
Exactly.
And get away from the dude who's literally accused of sexual assault. And he
Right.
said, I don't want to be with this because it makes me feel bad and uncomfortable and this is wrong and blah, 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 blah. And the school said, suck it up. Like, wow, it's just fucked. And yeah, an 18-year-old's
Don't bring any
look at
girls
that
back to your
harshly.
dorm. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, sleep with one eye open. Make sure the lube's next to the nightstand.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yeah.
What's up next, Mr. Tracy?
You want to talk about Albert Pujols?
Let's talk about Albert Pujols.
I love Albert Pujols.
Pujols?
We are recording on May 9th, Thursday, May 9th, and Albert Pujols hit a home run for his 2,000th RBI, the fifth man in baseball to do it. I don't know why there's a bunch of shit circulating saying he's the third. It felt wrong. I looked it up on Baseball Reference. It was very easy to find. It's on their all-time leaderboard, which I feel like I'm on every week. And I'm pretty sure I've checked it multiple times this season because I knew Pujols was approaching it. And he is the fifth person to do it. As Corwin and I talked about before the show, the four people to do it before him on this list in order is Hank Aaron with 2,297 RBIs, then Babe Ruth with 2,214, Alex Rodriguez with 2,086, and Cap Anderson with 2,075. And then right there at number 5 is Albert Pujols at 2,000 even as of right now.
I just want to cut in before we go deeper into Albert Pujols.
Oh, so deep.
2 hours ago, 4-star defensive end just decommitted from Florida.
No way, really?
Yep.
Fucking shocker.
Really?
Fucking shocker.
Yikes. This is going to get ugly. All right, Albert Pujols.
That's a big fucking... One of only 5 people to do some shit. That's crazy.
One of 5 people to do some shit?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to be in a sport and to do something... A sport that's also been pro for, well, they say 150 years because they have the patch on it, but it's not been that long. Probably more like 130. But 130 years of sport history, and you're going to be one of only 5 dudes to do it, with 3 in the Hall of Fame dudes, and one guy who probably won't get in over PED allegations, but what have you. What do you think about that?
It's wild,
Were you expecting that list to be longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I really thought it was going to be more than, according to MLB, 2 other players.
Why? Why do they keep saying that? I don't get it.
It's just wild, and I'm just so upset that I missed his peak.
Yeah.
I really...
We've talked about this before.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I was able to see Albert Pujols when he was truly Albert Pujols.
I gotta say though, as we discussed just yesterday in the episode that got released on Thursday, and as we discuss often, I do love watching modern day Albert Pujols because I love old man baseball. I love old man baseball.
So I have some other news here coming straight from Reddit, the most trusted of all news sources.
I trust them more than some other places.
So he is 21 home runs away from tying Willie Mays for 5th all-time.
Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid.
He is 3 hits away from tying David Winfield for 22nd all-time.
Okay.
And the Angels broadcast today said that MLB only officially counts RBI after it became an official stat. So he may rank 3rd in RBI if you do not count Ruth and Anson before it was officially counted.
But that makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That
but
makes
that's what
no
Reddit,
fucking sense.
That's what Reddit tells me.
I mean, at least that's a reason, and I can, I guess, now understand why they keep saying he's the 3rd player to do it. But that seems massively disrespectful.
Yeah. So RBI were not counted as an official stat until 1920.
Lick my fucking nuggets. Wait, but Babe Ruth retired in 1934.
So maybe he just didn't have the RBI that counted before 1920. Just didn't count.
But I think his rookie year was 18 or 19. Like it wasn't, or maybe he got traded in 19. I'm gonna look up Babe Ruth now because I'm pretty sure it wasn't like far off from that. That's why I'm so surprised, because Babe Ruth, the bulk of his career was like in the 20s and beyond. At least I had thought. Oh, God. Okay, Babe Ruth. Oh, his career started in 1914. 1919, the offseason. So 1920 was his first year with the Yankees. And, yeah, I guess he wouldn't just... only because he had hit 113 RBIs in 1919 and 61 the year before. So I think he just misses out on 2000 with his post-1920 RBIs. But that's still fucking stupid. Like, if we have the numbers, then shouldn't they count?
You would think, right?
I think
but that's also why...
I
think it's very different from why Ichiro's hits don't count.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I was going to go there, but
completely.
And then immediately thought, no, that's a very different story.
Yeah, because it's a different league, and
right.
I get it. But, nah, fuck that shit. That is most whack. I don't respect that. What do you think is
Whackety
more?
whack.
So CC hit his 3,000 strikeout, as we all heard me shouting from the rooftops
Yes.
earlier this season. He is the 17th person to do that versus Pujols being the 5th person to hit 2,000 RBIs. Which do you find more impressive?
I want to say, just based off of the fact that it's only been 5 people, the 2,000 RBI. But in my head, it's 3,000 strikeouts.
I think it's 3,000 strikeouts too. I think there's something about the RBIs thing because
Team reliant.
it is team reliant. Like if you're if you bat Mookie lead off his entire life, he'll never get there. I mean, the
Right.
Red Sox aren't batting Mookie lead off as much, but like if they bat him lead off his entire life, he's never gonna get there.
Right.
Like that's no indication that Mookie's a great fucking player. He's a generational talent.
Mhm.
But if you put him like Ricky Henderson.
Right.
Ricky Henderson not on this list. Ricky Henderson was amazing though. The guy behind him had a bunch of RBIs. You know, whoever bat right behind Ricky always had RBIs because the dude would do all the work for you.
Right.
So
You can get a strikeout on your own accord. You cannot get an RBI on your own unless you literally hit a home run yourself.
yeah, which is what he did today.
Right. I was saying that. I was like, no, wait, he literally did it by himself today. That definitely doesn't work.
But yeah, no, I mean it's still a huge accomplishment. I think it's real. I'm still fascinated that he's only the 5th person. I'm going to maintain that there's 5.
Everyone should maintain that there's 5.
Yeah, fuck the MLB for just deep dicking Babe Ruth and Cap Anderson like that.
Can that be our new motto? Fuck MLB.
I think it's still fuck the NFL
Yeah.
and
fuck,
NHL Department of Player Safety.
fuck NHL DP
DOPS.
DOPS, right? Fuck Roger Goodell
Yeah.
and fuck MLB. I don't hate the NFL. I hate Roger Goodell.
I kind of hate the NFL in ways. I'm not entirely certain.
We'll go into that. We'll put a whole episode about why we hate the NFL.
Problem is, I actually find Goodell kind of likable.
He's likable, but he makes bullshit decisions that benefit solely the owners, and that's why I do not respect him as a NFL commissioner.
I mean, it's the commissioner's job, though. I understand your dislike of him, but he's basically just a CEO.
I feel I know
It's like
I
a
know
weird
If
division.
you look at him as a CEO, he's there to maximize return for stockholders, and in this case, the owners of the teams. But the NFL is bigger than that. It's essentially an entertainment enterprise, its own network, and you should be there to grow the sport, not grow the wallets of its owners. And I think increasing the aspects of the sport on the field is more important than increasing shared wealth between the owners.
Yeah, that's why I think I'm more fuck the NFL, because I don't like the way it's all structured.
Fair enough.
Yeah, all right. I don't think I have anything else to say to Albert Pujols other than I love you, you old man. Play baseball until you're 50. I support you in all your endeavors.
What do you think? What's the next big record to get broken?
What's the next big record to get? I have no idea. Or like the next big milestone, I guess. I have no fucking clue.
What would be like the next record you want to see broken? I have one in my mind. If you want to, I can go.
Go ahead.
Give
Go
you a
ahead.
second.
Give me yours.
So Chris Sale threw an immaculate inning yesterday.
Yes, you did.
More rare than a perfect game or a no-hitter or hitting the cycle, anything like that. I want to see 2 back-to-back immaculate innings.
That'd be cool. I also
That would
have
be
one.
phenomenal.
That'd be cool.
I think Josh Hader could do it. Because I think
That's
he's
a good-
thrown.
good guy.
I think he's thrown 2 or 3 immaculate innings now. Probably 2.
he definitely has a couple.
Yeah. So I'd like to see him throw 2 back-to-back.
I would like to see a 5 home run game.
That really hasn't been done yet.
I don't think it has.
Wow.
I know that there's only been when Scooter Gennett hit his 4 home run game. Was that 2 seasons ago or last season?
2.
I think that was the most recent one, and I believe he was only the 17th player to do that. Like it's really rare.
Didn't Arenado do it recently? I want to say someone in Colorado did it.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
But I'm looking up to see if anyone's hit 5 home runs in one game. It's been done 4 times, and the last time was in 1948. So it was done by Pete Schneider in 1923, Lou Frierson in 1934, Cecil Dunn in 1936, and Dick Lane, which is that is an 80 grade baseball name. Dick Lane. Where are you going tonight, hon? I'm going to Dick Lane.
I'm pretty sure that's a Hall of Fame football player.
Anyway, and Dick Lane did it in 1948. And those are the only 4 times it's been done.
Night Train Lane? What's his first name?
Wait, record for most home runs in a single game is 8? 8
What?
home runs in
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Dick
not
Lane.
that's not MLB. That's the Texas League, June 15th of 1902. Jesus.
So Dick Lane is the real name of Night Train Lane, the Hall of Fame defensive back.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see it be done by, I don't know. I'm debating whether I want to choose like a big slugger who you think probably could do it,
Mike Trout.
or someone that would be hilarious to do it, like Hunter Pence.
Bartolo Colon.
Like, how funny would it be if Hunter Pence just comes around and like against like a really good pitching staff, like the Cleveland Indians or like the Boston. Well, I guess the Red Sox pitching staff this season kind of sucks. The Houston Astros, and just fucks around and knocks five dingers in a game.
Would we have to end baseball operations if Bartolo Colon hit 5 home runs in a game?
He has to start playing baseball again for that to happen.
But would baseball have to shut down if he came back for like a spot start at the end of the year and hit 5 home runs?
I think it'd be a holiday.
Reddit would break.
Oh, God. Yeah, the memes would be untenable. I think when he hit his first career home run with the Mets a few years ago, that was the longest between a player's debut and hitting their first home run in MLB history.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I do remember seeing that, yeah.
Yeah, because he was like 41 when he hit that home run.
I thought he was older than that.
No, because he's like 42, 43 now.
Okay. I always picture him being older because he looks like he's fucking
Looks like
60.
shit, yeah. And he debuted when he was like fucking 19 or some shit. So like he legit played baseball for like goddamn 15 years or some shit before he hit that first home run. I'm gonna fucking check now. I want to know, how old do you think Bartolo Colon was when he debuted?
18.
I think that's fair because he debuted at a very different time in baseball.
Back when they still had
No,
horse-drawn
24.
carriages.
24.
Really?
Yeah. 1997 was his first season.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and
So, that's the year I was born, Josh.
Yeah. No, I've heard the rumors. Let's see if we can find his standard batting. He has 1 home run in 2016.
Yikes.
So that would be at his age 43 season. So he went 19 years before hitting his first home run.
What was the actual
years.
date that he debuted in 97?
I don't fucking know.
It doesn't say.
No.
It says right at the top.
It
you
does?
buffoon. Yeah.
Where?
Right in this set of info.
Oh, debut April 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your birthday. How many
You buffoon?
how many All-Star games do you think he's been to?
4.
You're looking at it. I saw you looking at it.
I can't read that far. Has
How
he been to 4?
many top 5 Cy Young finishes do you think he has?
I'm also going to go with 4.
2. One of which was the year he won.
Yes.
Because he has a Cy Young. Aren't the Angels only, I think, 2 Cy Young awards? One of them is Bartolo Colon.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's a masterpiece of baseball perfection.
He is such a piece of our lore. We really need a new
Our
Bible.
lore.
Yeah. All right, what do you want to talk about next?
How
How about the fucking Seahawks releasing not Ziggy Ansah. They signed Ziggy Ansah, but they released today Doug Baldwin and Cam Chancellor.
Oh shit!
You didn't see this?
No.
Yeah, they released.
Wow.
They cut Doug Baldwin and Cam Chancellor over their physicals.
Holy shit! I knew Doug Baldwin was more likely than not to retire this year just because of his injury history. I didn't think they'd get rid of Cam Chancellor. What's the dead? I'm gonna look this up on my own. What's the dead cap for those two guys?
I didn't see. I doubt it's that much since they're kind of at the end of their contracts, and usually the NFL contracts for guaranteed money is front loaded. So I don't think it would be too much. Oh, the Seahawks drafted DK Metcalf?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Baldwin had 2 years, $21 million remaining on his contract. It was scheduled to pay him $9.25 million in his base salary, 2019, with another $750 available in per game roster bonuses. Assuming the team doesn't use a post-June 1st designation, his release will clear $6.85 million in cap space.
Yeah, they were the number 3 and 4 highest cap hits on the team.
Well, shit.
Justin Pritt.
Who is left from their Super Bowl team outside of Russell Wilson now?
Bobby Wagner.
Oh, he's still there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised.
Let's see. KJ Wright was there. Man, there's not a lot of players.
So
yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, and Russell Wilson.
What do you think of this Seahawks team now? Plus, they added Ziggy Ansah, we should say, 1 year, I believe, $5.5 million. What do you think about this going to be 2019 iteration of the Seattle Seahawks?
They're going to be young. They are very young at a lot of positions. That's kind of why I thought they were going to keep Baldwin and Chancellor, just to be those veteran players in the locker room. That's what happens when you sign a quarterback to a massive contract like Russell Wilson just did. You just don't have the money to keep your veteran players. And I haven't been high on the Seahawks essentially since they let Richard Sherman go. I mean, they're letting go of 3 of their biggest players this year, with Earl Thomas also being let go. This is going to be a brand new team next year, and I mean that NFC West that's going to be a tight race. I mean, granted, the Cardinals aren't going to be there. The Rams are clearly number 1. But, I mean, I like the 49ers to really improve. I just don't know how. I'd have to dig into their team and the way they constructed their roster a bit more to really say. I guess I could bring that up.
Would you call the when did they win the Super Bowl? 2014 or 2013? 2013, right?
They're both times they won it in 13.
Okay. Would you call that team like the poster child for winning with your QB on a rookie deal?
Without question.
So I think that's going to be interesting then, because now they might, since that's kind of like the example that they set. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they set the example going forward now that they've signed that quarterback to mega million like the biggest contract in I was about to say MLB history, NFL history, to see how they make that pivot. I think that this is going to be the groundwork, either positive or negative, for whatever the fuck happens next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, looking at their team offensively, it's Tyler Lockett and the DK Metcalf show. I still don't know what's going to go down with Rashad Penny and Chris Carson and how that's going to turn out. Their offensive line is looking much better, but not fantastic by any means. Defensively, man, it's a lot of guys that are just real young. I mean, they don't have any major players outside of Bobby Wagner right now. They got a lot of mid-tier talent. They got a lot of young players, but it's definitely going to be a very offensively focused team from here on out.
Did you realize that the Pujols game today that he got his 2000th RBI, the Angels won 13-0?
I did not.
Yeah, that's bad. Also, just as a side note, Buster Posey goes on the concussion list, and Drew Pomerantz also hits the IL. So the Giants' minimal chance of making a playoff berth, I think, are done for the year.
Yeah, that's not great for them.
How much longer do you think Posey lasts in the league at this point?
I think next season might be his last.
That'd be pretty fucking sad, I gotta say. I hope he lasts a few more. I mean, I just love catchers, especially MVP catchers. Fuck you, D. Gordon. So fucking fast. The Jaguars, they released a guy today. They released backup quarterback Cody Kessler. So he's now an available guy who throws footballs.
That is.
Do you think he goes anywhere?
No. I mean, maybe as like a backup or a third stringer, but he is nothing of note.
You don't think so?
No.
What about the Cowboys talking with Dak Prescott over a big-time extension? Do you think that's a wise move on the Cowboys' part?
Yeah, I think.
But what would you give him? Because I think I saw somewhere like the rumors I saw was like the $30 million range. I'm not sure. I think I like that for Dak.
It's definitely a lot, but that's just the way it is for quarterbacks. He's still young. He's still mobile. I'd give him $30 million.
But he's just
Think about it. It's $30 million is a lot right now. If they sign him to a 6-7 year contract, $30 million in 4 years isn't going to be a whole lot.
Or they could trade him, suck, and then draft Tua Tagovailoa.
I think their team. I think
It's a bad idea. They should not do that. Like, it's a really
they should
bad
not do
idea.
that. I think just to give some reasoning, I think the rest of their team is just too good for them to actually be able to tank fully. I think that offensive line and
Plus,
their
no
running game,
team should ever do that.
No, they shouldn't.
You should never trade your quarterback. Look at that guy's mustache.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah, there's an ump in this. Fuck you, Angel Hernandez. You're
He's
a bad
a piece
guy.
of shit. Yeah,
CC was shit talking him on his podcast the other day.
good.
Yeah, it was
Everyone should shit talk Angel
was
Hernandez.
fun to listen to. What do you think about the Warriors getting knocked out of the NBA playoffs?
I love it.
It's great.
It's the
isn't it?
greatest thing ever.
What do you think about Boston getting knocked out of the MLB playoffs?
Even better because my roommate is a Boston fan, so fuck that.
Did you give him shit for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, as we all should. What do you think about Tavares? He hurt his oblique while training for the Worlds competition.
It happens. I mean, I know
Do you think that this is
talk
something
about should NHL and players be playing in international competitions to save their bodies and whatnot? I don't agree with it. I think you got to play in these world competitions. I'm a proponent of NHL players playing in the Olympics, playing in the World Cup. I'm all for it. That's how competition is bred. It sucks that he got hurt, but that's just the nature of the game he plays.
Yeah, I really hope this doesn't become a talking point for the NHL, because I think I'd much rather see, if the players want to,
Right.
I'd much rather see them fucking just go out there and do it. You know what I mean? If they're, I don't want to see players get butt hurt because they're trying to compete to represent their nation, because the NHL doesn't want to get them hurt, but they'll let them go to other competitions that are sanctioned, that aren't the Olympics, and they'll get hurt there. You can get hurt. Fucking Blake Snell got hurt because he lifted a piece of granite on accident the other day. Like, it happens stupidly.
Right.
Who was that MLB player that hurt it, that threw out his back putting on his pants and ended up on the 10-day IL? Like,
I remember that. I don't remember who it was, though.
you get hurt all the time for stupid shit. I want to say it was Brad Boxberger. But
I could see it.
You get hurt for stupid shit like all the time. Like, I don't. It's sad, but it happens. Let's see. Let's go through some career leaders, because now I'm just kind of curious about the next possible, next most likely milestone. So I'm going to pull up a whole bunch. Okay. What would you say is a good milestone? Well, Robbie Cano got his 25th 100 hit. That's a big one.
Robinson Cano?
Yeah, he's the 101st player all time to do that. So that's not a lot of players in the history of MLB. Career leaders for games played. Pete Rose has the most. Who's the next? Who's the active?
Sliding headfirst into home like Pete Rose.
Guess who the active leader in games played is? But you'll never get it.
Ah, fuck.
It's a very well-known name.
Is it going to be Pujols?
Yeah, it's going to be Pujols. Yeah. 2,725. Do you think that's like a good mark for games played? Like, do you think he hits 3,000?
No.
I don't know. How many? He has 2 years left on that contract?
No idea.
I think he has 2 years left on. Which actually, if he does,
That'll
would put
be
him over
3,000
games.
Yeah, if he plays the full season, I just don't think.
What do you think's more impressive? 2,000 RBIs or 3,000 games played?
2,000 RBI.
3,000
Maybe.
games played would put him at 9th all time. It would put him just above Willie Mays and just below Cal Ripken, who played 3,001.
I think it's the RBI just because the RBI is a genuine show of skill. You have to be a good batter to be able to even hit that. You could just be an above-average player that just happens to play for a very, very long time and hit that. I just think I'm not saying, anyone could do it. I'm just saying I think the RBI is a higher show of skill than games played.
I think I would go with games played. I don't have a great reason for why.
Right.
That's it. So this is basically just going to become a how close is Albert Pujols to other things, because he's going to lead all of these lists. At bats, the closest active player, or the highest active player on this list is Albert Pujols with 10,312. I don't know what a good milestone is for this, though. Pete Rose leads the list with 14,000. That's not getting touched. That's 2,000 more than Hank Aaron. Do we care about this? I don't care about this one.
I don't really care about this.
I'm gonna
Is there really nothing going on in the world of sports better than like where he sits on at bats all time?
Well, all right, yeah, at bats all time isn't a good one. Plate appearances, I think we can just skip right over to. Yeah, I don't think that one matters. Do we care about runs scored?
No.
Yeah, I can't believe he leads in
He's
all
gonna
of them.
be.
Though.
Of course he is. He's a
there's
Hall
a
of Fame batter.
But like runs scored, I was a little bit surprised just because he's so slow. He's always been so slow. I kind of expected him to get like thrown out a bunch, and maybe there'd be someone ahead of him. Career leaders for hits. Okay, Pujols, where are you? Number 23. He has 3,106. I feel like 3,000 is already the milestone, though.
Where does he rank on intentional walks or being hit by pitches?
Well, hold on. Let's keep going down the list. Total bases. Do you care?
No.
Okay, closing that tab out.
It's gonna be no for like 75% of these.
Doubles. He's 55 away from 700. Do you think he hits 50? He's not fast enough to keep hitting doubles. How many more doubles do you think he has than the next person on this list, who is Miguel Cabrera?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's very arbitrary, but I'm having a good time. Triples. Actually, I don't think this will be Albert Pujols. I wonder who the active leader is for this. Oh no, we talked about this. Wasn't it someone from the Mets?
I don't know.
I think it was.
This is information I retain.
This is why I love the sport, man. There's just a lot of shit for you to lose your mind. Actually, it's Curtis Granderson.
There you go.
Yeah, he's tied for
who played for the
190th with 94 triples. Yeah, okay, we're moving on. Home runs, Pujols leads this, I know for sure. Yeah, because he got 600 the other last year, I think. Miggy right behind him there. Walks. Okay. Oh, wow, he is not even close to being in the top 20 on this list. He's 9 walks away from 1,300, sitting at a cool 1,291. Do you think he cares about that record?
Probably not.
Is there any? Give me a pitching one you want to see who's closest for a milestone.
Strikeouts. Who's the next major strikeout milestone?
Strikeouts.
Here's a cool one that I found just scrolling through Reddit while you search for this. Josh Hader has gotten 26 of his last 28 outs via the strikeout.
It's what he does.
In his last 9.1 innings, opposing batters are 1 for 3 on balls in play. 3 balls in play over the last 9.1 innings.
So I actually mentioned this, I think, on the episode. CC did get his 3,000th strikeout. He's currently sitting at 307. Justin Verlander is the next closest to the milestone at 2,766. So he's 234 away.
He's going to get that.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, I think he'll probably get there.
He'll get that
next
in
season.
the first month or two next season, yeah.
I mean, how many strikeouts does he have this season? Do you think he... I
say
wouldn't say the first month or
has
two
like
next season.
50 so far this year? Not 50, maybe like 40.
I got his page up. You went the wrong direction, Corwin. He has 60.
60 so far this year. How many starts?
8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, if he stays healthy, I think he'll hit it. Let's go to the guy below him, which I think is
I think he'll hit like 220, 225 this year. So I think he'd get it very early next year.
So this one's a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Max Scherzer is next on this list at 2,521.
Okay.
Do you think he gets it?
Yes.
Granted, he's 34.
And
he only had a late career. The Max Scherzer we know is not the early Max Scherzer. Right. He was not this pitcher with Arizona or Detroit.
I think we haven't seen him slow down in any category. I could easily see him going the Randy Johnson route and just throwing until he's very old and not really having a major drop-off when he does.
It's tough because once you get over the age of, 32 for a pitcher, it's just so easy for a drop-off to happen so unexpectedly. Yeah. Which is why I'm comfortable with Verlander because, he's just never showed any kind of real serious dip. He's shown, little itty-bitty dips here and there, but he's always been a smart pitcher in addition to a skilled pitcher. Where I do think Scherzer is that as well, but just given how slow the beginning of his career was in terms of strikeout accumulation, I'll be curious to see if he can hold it up in the twilight of his career. But we can see. I'm certainly going to root for him. 3,000 strikeouts, cool,
How many more does he need exactly?
So he's going to need 479 more.
So he really just needs
3 seasons.
2 seasons.
3 seasons.
He hit 300 strikeouts last year.
Yeah, but you can't count on 300 strikeouts.
Right.
It was a big deal that he did it. You don't.
Right, but I think we could count on
average.
200 plus, just over 200 over the next 2 seasons.
I'm going to give him, 200, 220. So he'll need 2 full seasons and then part of a third.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
He needs to pitch for 3 more seasons.
At Max Scherzer's level, he just needs to be alive for 3 more seasons.
Yeah, true. How long? I don't want to look it up. I wonder how many more years is left on his contract because that could be a determining factor.
That's true.
But anyway,
I think Max Scherzer is going to get a contract unless he has a major fall off or until he decides he's done.
All right, I'm going to give you the next 3, and then that's it. Felix Hernandez.
No way.
He is. How old do you think he is? Actually,
32.
33.
Okay.
I feel like he's fucking 38 though. He has 2,498, so he would need 502 more, and I love
think
King
he may
Felix.
be done after this season.
He'll be done whenever his contract is up, I think, because I think that the only reason Seattle hasn't cut ties with him is that they need someone to throw the ball.
Right.
And Felix is a fan favorite, even though he sucks now. Well, sucks is a little bit harsh. Even though he's past his prime, he's still a Seattle icon. And if you need someone anyway, they're throwing Mike Leake out there 5 times, once every 5. Mike
He's
Leake's
pitching right now.
That's probably why he came to mind, honestly. So why not toss the ball to Felix every now and then? Zach Greinke.
How many does he need?
He needs 515. He is 35 years old.
That's close.
I don't think it's close. I don't think he gets it.
He's still pitching at such a high level.
He had to pitch for 3 to 4 more years.
Yeah,
so I would pitch to his 38, 39-year season.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Especially since I know his contract isn't for that long.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll end up somewhere after this contract. But it's just this is why 3,000 is such a tough number to hit, is because so many pitchers have had the talent for long stretches to do it and then just fallen off. I'm willing to bet that if you asked anybody 5 years ago, which I understand is a period of time ago, but 5 years ago, Felix was going to get 3,000 strikeouts, I bet you most people would say, yeah, eventually. Not anytime soon, but eventually.
Yeah, it's Felix Hernandez.
And he fell off a fucking cliff.
He's the king.
And the thing is, that happens more often than it doesn't. And eventually all the pitchers you love just don't make it there. Mike Messina didn't make it, even though he was really close. David Cohn didn't make it. Tom Glavine didn't make it there. Warren Spahn didn't make it there. These are really, really well-known names who pitched for fucking ever and didn't cross that threshold because it's fucking tough.
Yep.
And pitchers fall off a cliff. Last name I'll ask you, and I think this is going to be an easy no as well, is Cole Hamels.
Hard no.
Yeah, he's 35, and he has 2,459, so he would need 541 more strikeouts. And I don't think that's happening for Hollywood Hamels.
No.
So, yeah. Anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap things up?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, then you can reach us if you want to, if you so choose, by hitting us up on Twitter at JuicingPod. You can find our Gmail address at juicingthenumbers@gmail.com. And you can find our website at juicingthenumbers.wixsite.com/website. And until Thursday, y'all have a good one.
Bye.